Okay, so this is a 2014 Chevy Spark battery, which is the A123 battery pack. In the neck of the battery pack, it has a pre-charger circuit to protect the charger, and it also has contactors for connecting the battery both to the charger and then also to the main drive unit. So what I've got here is I'm using the contactors to connect to the battery pack. This is the cable. This orange cable runs to the battery charger, sorry, and I've got that connected up to the voltmeter. Okay, and then what else I've got is there's a connector here with a data. It's not data so much as it's control lines for the contactors, and I've got those running to a set of relays. I've got a little Arduino here, which is optically isolated from these relays. The relays are being thrown with 5 volts from here, but then the other side of the relays, the voltage to the contactors that are going through these this connector here, are all running at 12 volts, and I've got it going through a 10 amp fuse as well. So what I've done is I've studied the wiring diagram for the battery pack, looked at how the contactors hooked up in the pre-charge circuit, and I wrote a little program that triggers the relays in the correct sequence to activate the connection between the battery pack and the charger, which we'll get to see on the voltmeter. So at the minute it's reading 200 millivolts. The first part of the startup sequence just provides 12 volts and grounds to the contactors. And then the next part of this, we're still at 200 something millivolts. If I go to the next part of the sequence, it turns on the pre-charger connection, waits a period of time, and then turns on the main contactor to the battery charger. Let's see. There we go, 370 volts. So we got the main battery pack with the contactors and stuff to connect through to the battery charger. Okay, and then start the shutdown sequence. Starts to remove some of the contactors. And I'm eventually back down at about 200 millivolts. There we go, settling. There we go, settling in about 200. The sequence is a little bit noisy. And then if I go, I can close out all of the power to the battery module, and I'm back down at less than 200 odd millivolts. So that's the connecting sequence using the contactors that are in the battery pack by default, the OEM contactors, to connect the battery pack to the charger. There's actually a simpler sequence to connect the battery pack to the drive line. It doesn't go through a pre-charge circuit. There we go.